Good morning, sir. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing great. Thanks for taking the time out, bro.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And where are you? You at? You're in your studio.
Yeah, this is my studio at home where I do all my work at.
Dude, that's the dream. Hey, like I'm looking at doing that in the garage. I'm making the plans now, but not to that extent.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, I have a really sad story. I don't know if you could see, but over here on this monitor, I used to have like a 3,000 piece Tower of Orthanc Lego that I built years ago with my son. It's been up there forever. And then recently I had it really loud, was listening to this new track of mine. And I literally just looked up and watched the Tower of Orthanc just slide off into oblivion and just smash to
Oh, bro.
and to an unrecognizable pile of black Legos. But I still have the Kylo Ren's ship over here, but that's nothing compared to the Tower of Orthanc.
Oh, dude, that's heavy. Have you still I mean, is it one of those things where look, we've all had Lego fall off the shelves. Have you taken it and put it aside and go, I'm gonna fix that up one day? And it's the
Dude, okay, if the plot thickens, the story goes further. Because then when I went online to replace it, I found a really cheap one on eBay and I bought it. And then when it got here, I was like, wait a second. There's actually like a business where apparently, they put together what would you call it? Black market Legos, right?
Yeah.
Because to buy the real one was like $1,000, and I got this one for like 300, but it wasn't the real Lego. So that kind of took the wind out of my sails. I got it just sitting in my garage right now.
Oh man, I've got ones like that. I put them aside and go, yeah, that's a later problem. And years down the track, you go, oh shit. But
I was much more motivated when my son was growing up and I'd come off a tour and it'd be like a bonding thing. Now he's 17, and so I'd really just be on my own building it, so I'm not as motivated.
oh, my son's 8 and he's all about that right now. So, you got to.
That's a great age for that.
It is, man. It is. But my name's Nev. We've spoken a few times before, but it's awesome to have you on the show again, man. I really appreciate you taking the time.
My pleasure, bro. My pleasure.
And you're coming back to Australia this February for a massive run of shows. What a great way to kick off the year down here, man.
I am so happy to be back, and I'm so happy we have more shows than usually. We just come and play like 4 shows, I think, in the bigger spots. I believe, I mean, I don't have the itinerary in front of me, but I think we have more shows than that. And we were able to connect New Zealand. So I'm stoked with that.
Yeah, man. It's going to be, you get a little bit more time down here to hang out, which is cool. Maybe go see some hobbits,
Yeah. Now, what's the weather going to be like in January there?
Man, it's going to be hot as fuck. So it's beaches, barbecues.
That's great.
Perfect time, bro. It's going to be
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's been what, 7 years since we saw you last, right?
What, in New Zealand?
No, Australia.
Shit, I don't think it's been that long. I swear it's been since the pandemic.
It has?
I think so. I think maybe 3.5 years or something like that.
And my maths must be off because it's like the before and after the click,
The before time.
Yeah, I'm like trying to remember, like, has it been that long? It's like, anyway. But man, you've always had a strong connection with Australia down here. Like HED PE and Australia are like long time.
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky that I'm still invited to go rock some clubs in Australia, because I've been doing it HED PE for 30 years. So I've seen some markets dry up, like we no longer go to Japan. So believe me, I'm stoked. Well, but then again, I'm going to Mexico City and Nicaragua and Chile for the first time. So, that's nice, opening up new markets there. But having said that, it's nice to get back to Australia because it's always a good time.
Man, I remember when I was 18, 19, I think it would have been, and we had this club here on the Gold Coast where I live called The Party. And they used to play bartender all the time, dude. And it was I had so many nights out, just slamming back VBs and partying to your music, man. So I think, and I'm not alone. It was, man, they were the floor fillers, and I think that's a big thing and a big reason people have got that connection with HED PE that is not going to.
You know what? And I appreciate it. And when we have a show, it's always a good vibe, uplifting, heavy, hardcore music that we play. There's some there's time enough for to kind of vent and party and just get all these different emotions at a HED PE show.
Oh man, it's the best. It's the best time. And your latest album, Detox, is also amazing. Man, there's been a lot of love for that record everywhere.
Yeah, I'm stoked on it because every time I do a record, it's with the idea that my people will like it. A couple times I've missed the mark, but this one really hit home. Apparently, people are really digging it, and I'm totally stoked. I got to say that when we play the shit live, it hits a different vibe, energy for me that I really enjoy.
What do you think that energy is? I know that's a hard question, but if you could pinpoint what that is.
I think there's a couple different answers. For sure, just the rhythms of the music and the kind of, there's some like Beastie Boys, I don't know, just kind of a bounce to this record that's there live. But the record's very honest lyrically and very open. And I think people are resonating with that, Myself, I'm still recovering emotionally and financially and physically from the fucking pandemic and COVID and all that. So that's part of the music and the story too. And I think so that's probably a common ground for a lot of listeners,
Absolutely, man. And you've had a hell of a year, dude. You've hit that ground running from the get-go. You've been everywhere, man. What a tour. You've toured everywhere.
Yeah, we did 9 weeks in the States. We've been going on tour with amazing band like Nonpoint. We've done a lot of big festivals this year. So that was cool. We'll have to thank Alex Gilbert from TKO for hooking that up, and the regime management. But it's interesting. Your HED PE, play at the fucking billiards pizza joint, and then go to the fucking festival and play for 5,000 people. That's just the story of my life, and I enjoy all of it.
Man, what festival was it you did? Was it Aftershock?
Recently? We did Aftershock. We did Louder Than Life. We did another one that it's not coming to my mind. My memory's not as great as it used to be. Aftershock, Louder Than Life, and then there's one more that I can't remember.
Man, it's the dream, dude. For us down here.
Good, dude. Yeah, it's dreamy.
But what's it with that many dates? Because I looked at all the dates.
Yeah.
How do you survive doing back-to-backs, just massive runs like that? What's your survival kit? How do you get through that?
Well, you have to, I don't want to sound cliche, but you have to be built for it too, meaning some people, they just can't handle it. I have a 17-year-old, I have a 3-year-old daughter, but I'm financing the home, so that feels good. But you have to be able to you have to be able to adapt to different things, because when you're home you can get into just a rut, not a rut, but you're used to always having everything at your disposal, where on the road it's like you're camping almost,
Yes.
so you have to get used to that. But if you're a road dog, as we call them, it's not the biggest deal. The biggest thing is missing your family. That might, everything else kind of pales in comparison
We
to
don't.
to miss people.
Yeah, absolutely. See, we don't have tours like that here because everything's so far apart. So
Right.
when I get into a van, like we did this year, we did 20 hours in one hit, just and then back again each way. But that's nothing compared to what you guys do. That's like a blip on the fucking radar. And we're
And yeah, so I wouldn't be able to make a living in that which you described. The reason I'm able to make a living is because in the U.S. is so huge, and there's so many markets for me to go and kind of stack the paper up. Um, so I'm blessed there. You just keep adding up all the pool halls and pizza joints, and you
we've
come
got
out with you end up with a good blue collar living. But yeah, only it's a trip because then when I go to Europe, it's like you're literally going country to country to country to country, where in the States it's just like Texas to Arizona to California to Seattle, same distance of drives, all within the same country. So it's a trip.
that is a trip, man. That's a trip. But of course, touring the world like that, you've built up a lot of friendships over that time. Who's your brother band? Who's the one that you're like, we have to tee up something with those guys, even if it's just a barbecue or hanging
Well,
out?
you know what? My favorite bands to tour with right now would have to be Nonpoint and Skindred. I love touring with Soil as well, but they don't do many U.S. tours. Um, you know, my my band friend group circle is so small. Um, but really, Nonpoint and Skindred, those are kind of, and Drowning Pool, Il Nino, those are kind of the bands I'm always. And then the more I think, there's other ones too, like shit. What's that band we're playing with in Mexico City? I'm leaving in the morning for a festival with Mudvayne in Mexico City. But yeah, you know what? There's a handful of bands I always love seeing when it's time to hit the road.
That's awesome. Is there any new bands that's catching your eye out there in Australia?
Yeah. Dude, I really only listen to like hip hop. I really don't know any new bands or
Yeah.
new hardcore. I really don't. I'm not aware of it.
Okay, there you go. But this year marks 30 years of the band, which is amazing. Do you remember your first show? Everyone remembers their first. You know what I'm saying? But
In first Head PE show,
yeah, man. Do you remember
oh, I definitely do. I definitely do. It was in a bar in Huntington Beach, and I can see it like it was yesterday. Probably had 50 of our friends there. It was really good. I can picture the bar, but I can't remember the name of it. Just a little punk rock bar in Huntington Beach. Yeah.
when did it change? When did it flip? Was it long after that where you're like, oh, things are starting to really pick up?
Well, Head PE took off pretty quickly.
Yes.
I'm gonna say that like Head PE was together like less than 3 years when we went to sign a record deal or something like that. So yeah, um, I was like 32 or something, and the rest of the fellas were in their mid 20s. And I had already been in bands, forever. So I was just kind of relegated to like thinking I'll just be in bands whether I get signed or not. Because what am I going to do? Just work a job and come home and watch telly all night? It's like I'm going to have a job and be in a band, and whether I get a record deal or not, because there was no internet, so it wasn't like you're going to just release your music on the internet, right?
Yeah.
You either had a record deal or you didn't. And ironically, that was the band where we got signed really quickly. And so, yeah, there wasn't much hardship. HED PE went from playing their first show to selling out shows in LA and Hollywood and Orange County, like really quickly, and then got signed and on the road, and it all just went really quickly.
Here we are, dude. I mean, you're a lifer. I mean, it's in your heart. So
years later,
you'd be doing it whether you were signed or not. Hey, because you just love it. Right?
Right.
It's all in the heart.
It's all I know. I wish I had another skill to fall back on, but this is what I know for now. For the last 30 years, I haven't had a real job in 30 years. So,
man, you don't need it. Just keep rocking and rolling, dude.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Man, I got a day job. I got a band. I got this thing, and I know how to scream my ass off, and I'm good at it. But
there you go.
It doesn't put food on the table. Just
keep up the good work.
I gotta try and do it. But man, you released a couple of crossover singles this year as well. Are there more collabs and stuff on the way?
I hope so. I would love to again do a collab with Nonpoint or Skindred, or that's the just any of these rock bands. I did so many collabs over the pandemic. I did a track with JR from Bad Brains, and these are old school punk rock bands, right? And the homie from Fishbone, Angelo. So for me, I don't know if you heard of those bands, but for me as a kid, Fishbone and Bad Brains were like god bands to me. So that was really cool. That was like a bucket list thing. But yeah, bro, anybody who wants to collab, I'm down. But Nonpoint and Skindred sounds cool.
Oh, dude, that'd be Benji's a good dude.
Love that guy.
He's a maniac.
He's the best.
He is. Yeah. We had him down here last year. Him and his wife are just really nice people. I really
definitely, yes.
Good people. But hey man, you're in your studio. We've got some new tracks on the way, new album.
We'll have a new record, but not till next summer.
Okay.
Take my time on it, especially after Detox. I took over 2 years to create Detox, so I'm not trying to rush anything.
Are we gonna get a little sneaky preview down here in Australia? Gonna?
No, but we will play some shit from Detox though.
Yeah, cool, man. Cool. Oh, dude, it's gonna
right on, bro.
It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be such a good tour, man. We can't wait to see you. Thanks for hanging out on the show, man. We're gonna have all the links down here, the show notes on the website. Brisbane. I'll come see you, and we'll party.
All right, my dude. I'll see you there, bro. Have a good day.